Welcome back to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into a tool called Traid. Now, this thing lives right at that wild intersection of AI and financial markets. It makes a pretty big promise to bring some clarity to the chaos of trading. So let's see if it actually delivers. So let's be real. If you've ever stared at a trading chart, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It feels like you're trying to read a foreign language during a hurricane, right? You've got this avalanche of data, all these patterns, signals telling you to do opposite things. And the big question for any trader really is, how in the world do you cut through all that noise and actually feel good about a decision? And that's exactly where today's subject, Traid, comes in. Okay, its official name is a multi-strategy AI trading chart analyzer. Yeah, I know, it's a mouthful. But forget the fancy words for a second. The goal is actually pretty simple. Use AI to find those clear, actionable nuggets of information buried in all that market chaos we were just talking about.
All right, so before we get into how it works, let's really dig into the problem it's trying to solve. What is the big challenge for traders today?
Well, it really boils down to three big things. First, just information overload. There are a million different sources, and they're all screaming at you. And that leads right into the second problem, analysis paralysis. You know that feeling, right? You're so overwhelmed with info that you just freeze. You can't make a decision. And finally, it's just so time-consuming. You can literally spend hours analyzing a chart and still walk away feeling like you have no idea what to do next.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem. Now let's flip the coin and see how Traid claims to be the solution. And the core idea? It's all about letting AI do the heavy lifting when it comes to analysis. So what's the big promise here? According to them, it comes down to three things. First up is speed. We're talking an analysis in under 30 seconds. Pretty quick. Second is power. Its AI brain is packed with 10 different trading strategies. And third is precision. The whole point is to give you one single clear signal to work with. And it's that combo of speed, power, and precision that's really the whole foundation of what they're trying to do.
Now, this brings us to a really interesting part of how this tool actually works. It's not just a one-trick pony. You actually get two different ways to analyze a chart. You can look at it through one specific lens, or you can look at it through a whole bunch of them all at once.
So on one side, you've got single strategy analysis. Think of this like going to a specialist who only knows one thing. Say the Wyckoff method. You ask them for their opinion on a chart, it's going to be super focused, for sure, but it's also limited by that one point of view. But then, on the other side, you've got the multi-strategy analysis. And this is where they say the real magic happens. This is where the AI looks at the chart using all 10 of its built-in strategies, all at the same time. And what you get from that is what they call the unified recommendation. The analogy they use is actually perfect. Imagine you go to 10 different doctors for an opinion. A few might agree, but some are definitely going to have conflicting views. The AI here is supposed to act like the head of the hospital, who takes all 10 of those opinions, figures out where they overlapped, weighs the disagreements, and gives you one final unified diagnosis. That's the whole idea, to create one high-confidence trade idea out of a whole mess of different strategies. So that sounds great in theory, but what exactly are these 10 specialists or strategies we keep talking about? Let's pop the hood and see what's actually inside this AI's toolkit. Okay, so the first thing to know is that this AI isn't just making stuff up. It's built on a foundation of 10 well-known, established trading strategies. The point isn't that it's some mysterious black box inventing new ideas out of thin air. Instead, it's more like an engine that's just really, really good at applying a whole bunch of existing theories super fast. So what are they? And here they are, the whole toolkit. You can see it's a really wide mix. You've got your classic, old-school stuff like the Wyckoff method and Elliott wave theory. Then it mixes in more modern price action concepts, things like fair value gaps and order blocks. And on top of all that, it layers in all those quantitative indicators that a lot of traders use. You know, Bollinger Bands, RSI, volume profile. The whole point of mixing and matching all of these is to give the AI a much more complete, kind of 360-degree view of what that chart might do next.
Okay, so the theory is solid, it's comprehensive. But how does all of that complex analysis actually turn into something you can use? Let's look at what the user actually gets at the end of the day and what it takes to get up and running.
And this is really what it all boils down to. The final output isn't some 20-page report you have to decipher. Nope, it's a single, clear signal with four key things. 1, a suggested entry point. 2, a stop loss to manage your risk. 3, a take profit target. And 4, a confidence level. Basically, a rating from 1 to 5 stars that tells you how much all those different strategies agree with each other.
And getting started seems pretty straightforward. They lay it out as a simple 4-step process. It's a Chrome extension, so first you install it from the web store. Then you get your license keys and pop those in to configure it. And that's pretty much it. You're ready to start using it right on your trading platform.
Of course, we gotta talk about pricing. It looks like there are 3 options. You can go monthly, yearly, or grab a lifetime deal. Now, based on what they show, all of the plans get you access to the same core features, the same strategies. The main differences are just how often you pay and whether you get priority support.
And one more thing they highlight is a 24-hour free trial. And this is positioned as a totally no-commitment way to check it out. They say you get full access to all the features, and you don't even have to put in a credit card. So it's a way to kick the tires with basically zero risk. So there you have it. That's a quick look at Traid, which is really just one example of this new wave of AI co-pilots for traders. And it leaves us with a much, much bigger question, doesn't it? As tools like this get smarter and easier to get your hands on, what does that mean for the future of personal trading? Is this technology just going to augment our own human intuition, or are we heading toward a future where it could one day replace it entirely? That's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.